In this tutorial, I'm gonna show you how we can create this paint dress effect using Photoshop. So let's get started. Hey, what's up guys, Dhruval here back with another video, and as you can see, this is the final output and this is the original image. We will also take help from this PNG file of this paint splash. Now both of these images are from devantart.com, and if you want to use them, the download link is in video description, so feel free to use it. Now let's focus on the original image. So I'm selecting my quick selection tool, as you can see, so that we can make selection of her. We need to cut her out from the background, so I'm gonna make a quick selection of her, and as you can see, we are right now on minus, so we have to be on plus because we want to add selection. So make sure your plus icon is selected, and I will make a selection of her. In the hand, it doesn't have to be accurate, just try to select the outside area properly, and that should do the trick. So let's zoom out and focus on here, and let's make the selection of this part. As you can see, don't worry about the area in between the fingers, just make sure that outside area has been selected properly. So that looks really nice selection. And about this, I will just select it until, let's say, here. It doesn't have to be too much. Yeah, that's more than enough we need, because this portion will get covered by paint, so we don't need it. Selection is ready. Oh sorry, we forgot on the hair, so let's make selection of that too. So the basic selection is ready, and now all we have to do is take care of this inner part. So I will switch from my quick selection tool to here. I will right click and you can select this magnetic lasso tool, and since we need to remove the selection from certain areas, I will select this third option. So let's go, and I'm gonna make a quick selection here. It's a magnetic lasso tool, so beginners can also follow it really easily. All you have to do is just make a couple of points and the tool will take care of it, everything itself. So when you are at the end like this, just double click and we are good to go. And same way, I will remove selection from this fingers. So as you can see, the basic selection is ready, and all we have to do is apply a layer mask. So as you can see, there is this third icon here. I will click on that and it will apply a layer mask, and the background is gone, and we have this really nice selection of this lady. Now first thing I want to do is move her a little bit in center so we can focus on her better. So that looks really nice. Now it's time to create the background. So to create a background, I will go here in my adjustment layer option and I will select a solid color, and in the solid color, instead of this black color, I have this code. It's D1, D1 and D1. So it's not a big deal, like just select some grayish tone that suits your taste and hit OK. Now I will put it under my model, so we have this really nice gray background. Now to make this background a little bit more interesting, I will apply a gradient. So double click on your background layer like this, go and select a gradient overlay, and make sure that before you apply your gradient, use this step. Make sure that your foreground and background colors are black and white. Then I will, in my gradient options, I will go and make sure I have foreground to transparent option, hit OK. I will change style from linear to radial, and I will reverse it so we have darkness on the outside. And then I will make my opacity to all the way 150% and change this opacity of this gradient to, let's say, something around 50%. So it looks more like natural and it fades in really nice. And I will also change in the angle a little bit so we have this white portion more. So that looks nice, and now I'm gonna go and hit OK. So as you can see, the background already looks really nice, and it's time to bring in the paint splash. So I'm gonna go here. So this is the file. I'm gonna press Ctrl A to select it, Ctrl C to copy. I will come back here and then I will paste it by pressing Ctrl V. The box will appear, don't worry about it, just simply hit OK. And as you can see, the paint splash is already here. So let's start adjusting the splash so it looks like it's part of her dress. So I'm gonna put this layer 1 on top of my model because the splash is going on top of her dress. Then we have to make this splash a bit smaller, so I'm gonna press Ctrl T I will hold down my shift key and I will make it slightly smaller so we don't lose the proportion. And let's put it here. Now it's a bit bigger, but don't worry about that. I'm gonna right click and first of all let's flip it vertically so it's down, something like that, and I want this two portion to be on this side. So I'm gonna I'm gonna right click and I will select this time horizontally. So now the splash is completely flipped, and it looks really nice, matches properly with the dress. So as you can see, the dress is here and it's slightly bigger, so I'm gonna again make it smaller. And as you can see, I keep holding down my shift key whenever I make it smaller. So I don't, without shift key it goes like this, which is not cool. So hold down shift key and then make it smaller. So we are almost close and that looks nice. Okay, that's great. Now as you can see, the edges will not, sorry, my PC is a bit slow. So as you can see, the edges don't match properly, but you can do that. Right click and select warp, and then you have this corners here which you can use actually to make your dress splash bend. It's not making it smaller, it's just simply bending it, and you can also do it from this part too, as you can see. So it is a really good tool. It gives you a lot of freedom to start with, and as you can see, I can bend it from any angle. It is really nice tool. So let me zoom out a little bit, and as you can see, it has started looking good, but the splash is still quite big. So I will take my time and I will adjust it a little bit by using the same steps. So as you can see, now I have adjusted the paint splash and it looks nice, but we have this unwanted part of the dress. So to get rid of that, as you can see, we have this layer mask that we applied. So in this layer mask, select your brush tool, and whenever you paint with black color, as you can see, with 100% opacity, it will remove things. So this way you can remove the dress. And if you make a mistake and you want to bring something back, all you have to do is just go and switch to white color, and then you can bring that part back. So it's easy as that. So I'm gonna remove the unwanted part of the dress, and you have to paint in the layer mask, not on the image but on the layer mask. So let's remove it from here, and let's say we have something here. No, we don't. So this looks really nice. Maybe a little bit of portion of dress. No, that's fine. So now it's time to make the paint splash really smoother, so it looks like it is blending with the dress. So select your layer 1, and just like the dress, we will apply a layer mask, and now we will use black color to remove the unnecessary area. So I'm gonna make my brush slightly bigger, so we have even softer transition, and then I will start painting here like that. So as you can see, now it looks like the color is coming out of dress, which is looking really nice. And whenever you are near the edges, take your time and be careful, because these are the parts that will reveal that the blending is nice or not. I am doing a tutorial, so I can't spend too much time on this, but you can take your time and be sure that it looks really nice. So as you can see, I adjusted things here and there, and now transition looks really good. Now it's time to create the splash behind her. So to do that, I will simply select my original splash. I will press Ctrl J. So I will make a copy of it, and for right now, delete layer mask from this. So I'm gonna right click on layer mask and I will go and delete it. Then I will press Ctrl T, right click, and then I will select flip vertically. So let's put it here, and then I will go and flip it horizontally, so it's on completely opposite side, and that looks pretty cool. So let's go and put it here, and I know you must be thinking that it looks like it's been copy pasted, but we can manipulate it a little bit. So let's go and confirm it first. So first thing, we wanna put it behind her. To do that, you have to first of all apply a layer mask again, and then hold down your control key and click on this model mask here. As you can see here, control click on it, so it will make a selection of her, and now we have selected the second splash mask, as you can see here, and I have selected my brush tool with black color. Now I will go in and remove it from the areas where there's the model is, and let's go and remove it from here too, and then also I will remove it from here, from these portions, so it looks like it is much more smoother and exactly behind her. And then when you are done with it, let's go remove it from here too. Go to select and then go to deselect. So as you can see, now the splash is behind her, which looks much better. And I don't want this, like this is way too crazy, so I'm gonna go and simply remove this portion too, because it just doesn't work very well for my taste. And from whenever you are like near this kind of parts, I would suggest that you make your brush really tiny, take your time and remove things really nicely. So as you can see, that looks nice. And the another thing that I did was like, as you can see, this looks like way too similar to this one. So now I'm gonna go and select my pen tool. Now if you don't know how to use pen tool, you can go and select magnetic lasso tool. It is also works really nice, but for me pen tool is the best. So let's go and make a selection of this portion, like that. I will press Ctrl Enter to make selection, and also remove this part too, with black color. And let's go and remove that, and then go to select and then go to deselect. So now it looks much less repetitive and a bit more creative. Now there is another really cool thing you can do. Select your this mask, image from here, not the layer mask but the actual image thumbnail. Go to your edit, and then there you have this option called puppet wrap. As you can see, that looks really cool. Now in the puppet wrap, you can actually go and put in points anywhere you want, so that point will become a joint. And now I can simply just click it, and see, now I can like bend it any way I want, and that looks flippin' amazing. Like seriously, that's the coolest thing you can do. So as you can see, now I'm gonna bend it even more, so it looks like completely different splash. And then I'm gonna go and do the same thing here. Then go and confirm this thing. So as you can see, it completely changed and it looks really nice. So as you can see, we have finished one of the most difficult part of the tutorial, and which was to match the splash with the dress. So this turned out to be really decent for a tutorial. Now it's time to adjust the colors and the highlights of this splash, so it looks like that it is exactly part of the dress. To do that, first of all, I'm gonna hold down my control key and select both of these layers, this splash layers, and then I will press Ctrl G. So they both are under the same group, and it's really easy to manage that way. Then I will go and create a new adjustment layer and select hue saturation. And in the hue saturation, I will first of all go and put the values -5. Let's say here it was 2, and here it was 1. So you might be wondering how I got this. Just go and play with the slider and change it until you get the exact color you need. So mine was, I think, -5 or 6. Both worked really nice. And also, as you can see, when I change the color, it is also affecting the other image. So for that, go and click on this clipping mask option. So now if I change anything here, it will only affect the group under it. As you can see, it's really handy. Only thing that will change, it's the group. So as you can see, my -6 is looking really good. So let's go and close on that one. Now we need to add a little bit of brightness in the splash, because the image is a bit brighter in comparison. So I will go and create new adjustment layer, and then I will select brightness and contrast. And there, first of all, let's go and clip it, so it will only affect the splash. And then I will go and add like +50 amount. So that looks really nice. So let's turn it on and off. Yeah, see, now it has started to match really good. And now it's time to add another adjustment layer from here, and then I will select my color balance, and also I'm gonna clip this one too. Let's come here and clip this thing, so only affects the dress. And then I will add a little bit of red in this one, so that looks really nice. And also I will go and add a little bit of magenta, because it balances out things really good. And let's go and add a little bit of blue, not too much, okay, don't overkill it. So that looks really nice. Now let's go to the shadows, and there I will add a little bit of cyan, not too much, and a touch green, maybe 2-3%. Okay, 4 also looks nice. And now let's go to the highlights. So there I will add a little bit of a cyan, a little bit of magenta, and a little bit of a blue. So all you have to do is just play with the slider until you get the right color that you need. So let's look at it. Yeah, it looks very minor change, but it works out really nice in the overall effect. Now it's time to add the final adjustment layer that we will be using to match the color of this splash. So go and create a new adjustment layer and select hue saturation, and there, as always, clip it from here, and then I will decrease the lightness a little bit, so that looks nice, like 9% also good. So let's go and close it. But here's the thing, this portion is brighter, so let's go and make my brush a little bit bigger, and I have this black color here. So using my black color, I will remove that effect from this part, and now if I turn it on and off, only this portion is darker because this portion of the dress is darker. So let's turn it on and off, and as you can see, now it looks much better. So the splash looks really nice with the dress, and now it's time to adjust the overall image. So I'm gonna go and create new adjustment layer and go and select my selective colors. This time do not clip it because I want overall image to get affected. So I will go and first of all add a little bit of reds because they look really nice. The red dress is really beautiful. Then I will go and add a little bit of a magenta, not too much, and then I will go and add a little bit of blues because they somehow looked really nice for this, like the color of dress she has. It worked out really good. And then in the blacks I will go and remove them a little bit so that the dress looks doesn't look way too contrasty. So I think number was -3, so that looks nice. And then let's go and close it. See, it makes like a really good difference. Now it's time to make the entire image overall a bit bright because I think colors are slightly looking dull. So go and create new adjustment layer, select brightness, and add a little bit of brightness, not too much, just make sure it looks natural. So I think 4 should do the trick. So let's go and turn it on and off. Yeah, 4 looks really good. Then create another adjustment layer and go and select vibrance, and for the vibrance I will go and add a little bit of vibrance. So it might look like it does nothing, but let me turn it on and off so you can see. As you can see, now it makes the dress look a bit more punchier, which is the look I need. So the basic color correction and the splash matching, everything is done. Now it's time to decorate the image. To do that, first of all, let's add some sharp lines behind her. So let me show you what I'm trying to say. So go and create a new blank layer from here. Select your marquee tool, rectangular, and make a rectangle. Whatever size, shape, doesn't matter. So this is looking really nice. Go and select your white color and select your paint bucket and fill in the box. Then I will go to select and deselect it. Now as you can see, this is a really sharp box. So I'm gonna go and select my eraser tool from here and make sure that my hardness is 0%. I will make my brush really bigger, like this big, and I'm using my bracket keys to make it bigger and smaller. Then I will go and start erasing it. Make sure, just look at me, like how I'm not erasing the edge of it, only just a little bit part of it. So like actually erase it entirely, just don't erase the edge. So as you can see, like this, erase it from the distance. Look, see how my eraser is far away from the actual edge. So now if I turn it on and off, we have a really nice edge there. And now I have to put it behind my model. So I'm gonna put it under her, exactly here. Then I will press Ctrl T so that I can rotate it from here like that, and make it slightly smaller so it is not way too distracting. Instead it looks part of it and really nice, just like that, and go and confirm it. Now we have to make several copies of it. So I'm gonna press Ctrl J, so that will make a copy of it. Select my move tool and put it on top of a little bit here. Another time press Ctrl J, make a copy of it, and another copy of it, just like that. Now these are too many shapes, so I'm gonna go and select all of them, use my Control key, hold it and select all of this, and then I will press Ctrl G. so all of them are in a different group. So now advantage is that I can decrease the opacity and blend them better in the background. So now they look really nice. You can also make it smaller a little bit so that they look even good, and then go and confirm it. Now it's time to add some random shapes in the background. So to do that, I will go and select my shape tool from here. Right click and select, make sure you have this custom shape tool, and in the shape tool you have this a lot of shapes. Now if you don't have them, go here and there you have option for all, and then you can activate all of these shapes. Okay, so let's go, and here we have this option for confetti. So as you can see, we have this option of confetti here. So select this, and then I will just go and directly draw my shape, something like that, and then hold your shift key. Okay, make sure you have holding, yeah, you are holding your shift key, and then draw the confetti however you want. Then I will put it a little bit here, maybe rotate it a couple of times, maybe it has to look good. Okay, it has to match the image, and then go and confirm it. Now the color of confetti is way too strong for me, so I'm gonna go and change its blending mode to soft light, and then I will change the opacity to 40%. So now if you look at it, looks more like it is filling up the background. Sorry, wrong image here. So as you can see, now it's filling up the background, and these shapes are pretty annoying, but as you can see, it looks nice. So let's go and increase the opacity a little bit more so we can see it more clearly. Yeah, now it looks much better. We are almost done. Now it's time to add a little bit of bling blings. So what I'm trying to say is create a new blank layer from here. Select your brush tool, and in the brush tool go to this little icon here, and there you have option for this assorted brushes. So go and click on that, and when it says hit OK or append, whatever option you prefer, hit OK. So I'm gonna go and select this bling bling brush. So this 50% 50 number here, so that looks nice. And then all you have to do is just go and simply make a click. So now right now the brush is really small, so let's make it a bit bigger. So let's go and click here. So that's way too big. Now it's perfect. Go and do a couple of random clicks here and there, and then go one here, stuff like that, wherever you want. It doesn't have to be accurate. You can put it here if it looks nice to you. So it all looks nice, and now I'm gonna take a couple of minutes and adjust the opacity and the position of the layers. So this is the final output, and before closing the tutorial, I would like to give you some important tips especially for this tutorial and this effect. So first thing, you will not always have to use the same adjustment layers. Mine was like this splash was already red the moment I started working on it. Your might be green, blue, whatever the splash you use maybe. So the numbers and things will be completely different. And the same goes with this overall adjustment. Maybe some people don't like this color, some people prefer this color, I prefer this. So you can skip some step, or maybe add a couple of yours. This bling bling thingy, if you don't like that or you like that, try using different brushes. As you can see, you have this really cool, maybe this snowflake brush that looks really dope. So you can try any of that. And also in the shape layer, I used this confetti shape because I wanted something random, but there are a lot of shapes. As you can see, like there are just a lot. So try using different ones. And about the transition of the dress, I would admit it's not the best I have done. In the original file it's much better, but it's a tutorial and now you know how you can do it. So all I will say is take your time and make sure, like, do trial and errors and make it like the smoothest transition you have ever done. So I really hope that you guys learned something from this video, and if you did, hit that like button so I can know. And if you have any kind of questions that I think you will probably have after watching this video, so feel free to ask me in the comment section below. And if you want to check out more of my tutorials effects, you can click on any of these boxes. Plus you can subscribe to my channel, so every time I upload a new video you will get the update. Plus clicking on that subscribe button will take you to my YouTube channel, where I have more than 85 free Photoshop tutorials just waiting for you. So till then, goodbye, take care, and have some fun with Photoshop.